Hi, I'm John Paulus, creator of Life's Potluck Buffet, and today I want to talk with you about card number 15 in the Life's Potluck Buffet card deck. Card number 15 is about our intentions, our work intentions going forward, where we want to be, who we want to be, what we want to do, etc. Here's the prompt: speak where you want to be, and the way will appear. When it occurs to you to say to yourself, I want to be X, say it to yourself and no one else. Then operate as if it were already true, and be ready to say to others that it is true. Why not give it a try now, but say it to whoever's in the room, or if you're alone in the room, just say it out loud to yourself. Okay, so I'm gonna read the fill in the blank out loud from the card, and I'll leave a space so that you can fill it in with whatever you need to say. And I've already done this so that I don't talk over you and throw you off. So I'll tell you what my answer was to this prompt and explain to you what that means for me. Whatever comes to mind when I leave that blank space, let that pop out and just say that out loud. This is part of the liberation of this, is that you're saying whatever comes to mind, and that's freeing. And it's also, there's something in that is going to be really helpful to you, I promise. Okay, so let's try this. You ready? I want to be Okay, if you weren't ready, let's try it again. All right, I'm going to say it again. So just say it along with me. I want to be. What did you say? Well, I'll tell you what I said when I did this before. Is I said I want to be a skydiver, and I'm the furthest thing from an adrenaline junkie that you can imagine. And I have a tremendous fear of heights, like palm sweating. I can't imagine doing what you need to do to be a skydiver, i.e. jumping out of a plane. And I don't want to be a skydiver. So this is where we get into the realm of interpretation, because I do mean something by saying I want to be a skydiver. It's just I don't mean that I literally want to sign up for skydiving lessons. And honestly, just even thinking about it right now, my palms just started sweating. I know that you can't tell that, but just believe me. Okay. Also, I have to say that I'm the opposite of an adrenaline junkie, and I was thinking a little bit about what that would mean. Like, can I come up with a phrase or like a descriptive adjective to come up with like what to call myself? And what I came up with is lo-fi. I don't know if that means anything in common slang parlance in any part of the English-speaking world, but if it does, what I mean by my new slang is that I'm the opposite of adrenaline junkie. And what I have in mind is, the lo-fi videos and mixes with the downbeat hip hop with jazz samples from the 1950s and 60s on top of it. And that's me in a nutshell. That's how I picture myself sometimes, as like being a version of that. So in saying I want to be a skydiver, I think what I'm doing is I'm prodding myself to get out of my lo-fi shell a little bit and come up with something that is me taking risks that I normally wouldn't. And to me, I think that means risks in terms of work and business, and in terms of putting myself out there, well, like I'm doing in this recording, and talking to people about things that I need to do, talking to people about where I'm needed, putting myself out there, putting my work out there to see who connects with it, to see where I might go, what I might do, and how I might reimagine myself even. And so that to me is what this exercise is really about today. And I really like the idea of this card getting us to a place that kind of requires interpretation. Odds are, if you said something literal, you might already be pursuing that or be planning to pursue it, you know? So if there's something that you said that makes sense to you in a literal way, then you don't really need to do much interpretation. The other thing about it is if you said something that is a literal thing that you might do, but you're kind of like, well, I don't know. I said that out loud, but I'm not exactly sure what I meant by that. So if you had said skydiver and you're like, I don't know what skydiver means, then talk to someone you trust. In talking with them, you'll be able to, and it will occur to you what you mean by that. So when you're talking to people and you're using the Life's Potluck Buffet cards here and you're talking to people about them, we're not looking for people to necessarily give us answers, because that's not really how it works. Because when people speak, they only speak for themselves. It's very, very hard for us to get out of our own existences. In fact, it's kind of impossible. And so when we talk with people about these things, be listening for what they're saying and be listening for what you're saying. And understand that ultimately what you're saying for yourself is what really counts here. And that a person listening to that, they can help you hear yourself. And this is what I always talk to people about this, is that like when we're talking about work and careers and jobs going forward, or in any aspect of all the things that you do during the day that you give effort and energy to, I'm just listening for what you're saying and that you're not hearing yourself say. And that's really important, because we often keep things hidden from ourselves when it comes to the work that we do and that we need, and work that we need to do. And we keep telling ourselves the same story over and over and over again. And we kind of get caught in a rut. And everything in these cards is about liberation. Everything is about getting out of that work rut that says, what's the next thing I'm doing? Well, the same thing I did yesterday and the same thing I'm going to do tomorrow. Because the odds are, if you're following along, you're probably trying to think about, what do I need to do next? What's the next step for me? What's the next thing? And ultimately, hearing yourself is always the answer. And hearing what you're saying to yourself is always the answer. So there are 55 cards in the Life's Potluck Buffet deck. And so if you want to get this card and its 54 buddies, just go to lifespotluck.com and order a pack. And keep it tuned in to this YouTube channel. That's it for today.